We begin tonight with breaking news. A house fire has spread to other homes on the city's east side. This happening on Nolan Street between Mittman and Gevers.
Our Avery Everett is there right now as crews continue to battle the flames, or what's left of them. Avery, what do we know about this fire?
Neighbors tell me over the last hour they've been standing out in this street in complete shock, watching the San Antonio Fire Department try to put out that fire that was right behind me. Now, this all started on Bluebonnet, where we are right now, but some of the homes just one block over are completely burned down. I spoke to a woman who owned one of those homes, and she said that it was a total loss, but her family all got out alive. Now, she did tell us they don't know how this fire started, but she says that it was jumping between multiple homes. We're still waiting on official confirmation from the San Antonio Fire Department. We're waiting on a spokesperson who apparently is here, but we have yet to get that official word as to what's happening. Crews are still actively working to put out those hot spots on both sides, on both Bluebonnet and on Nolan, just one block over, like I said. But this entire neighborhood is on a standstill, waiting as the San Antonio Fire Department does their investigation. Now, that woman I spoke to, she is with loved ones right now, but devastation only begins to describe how she feels. And there's a long night ahead for her and the rest of this street as they try to find out what exactly happened. Steve, Myra?
All right, Avery, thank you. We'll continue to follow it and see what develops out there. Meanwhile, 9 days and still no sign of Suzanne Simpson. The Olmos Park woman was last seen with her husband, Brad Simpson, walking away from their home in Olmos Park back on the night of October 6th. Since then, Brad has been jailed but is not facing charges in his wife's disappearance.
And countless searches in Olmos Park, the couple's home, and Bernie have led investigators to one particular landfill in the southeast part of Bexar County. That's where we find our John Paul Barajas for the second day now. John Paul, it seems like there is a little bit more activity than we saw the last time we checked in with you at 5 o'clock. It seems like maybe they're still searching through some of the trash out there.
Steve Meyer, that's right. At 4:15, we heard from the DPS spokesperson. He said he was leaving for the day. He had no additional information and that he would be back out here tomorrow morning. And then we also saw a lot of the individuals in white hazmat suits walking down this hill and taking off. From our vantage point, we could not see on top of the hill, but we have since seen that there is still a lot of activity up there. And after this live shot, we're actually going to fire up the KSAT 12 drone just to get a better visual on how many people are actually still up there and if they have lights and plan to continue searching as it gets darker tonight.
So, John Paul, why this area? What led crews to this landfill on the southeast side?
Well, the Olmos Park Police Chief gave a vague statement as to why. He said it was evidence, statements, and good investigative work that led them to this location. He also sent that out to his community in a letter where he said he was confident that they would recover Suzanne at this landfill in southeast Bexar County. So again, it sounds like it has turned not to a search, but more of a recovery effort.
Yeah, and like you said, a very confident police chief thinking that this is where they would find her body. Let's switch to the husband now. At this time, we know Brad Simpson's still in jail. What do we know about the specific charges against him?
So Brad Simpson was arrested Wednesday on charges of assault, family violence, and unlawful restraint. In a press conference last week, we asked the Olmos Park Police Chief if there was a history of domestic violence between the Simpsons. At that time, he said not that he knew of. So we do believe that the charges he is currently facing are related to the physical altercation, the reports of a physical altercation between him and Suzanne the last night that she was seen. But again, he is not facing any charges in connection to Suzanne's disappearance at this time.
John Paul, you've been following this search for almost a week now at the couple's home in Olmos Park, that wooded area near their house as well. 2 days out here at this landfill so far. Have you noticed any shift in urgency with crews as they investigate, especially given that statement that we saw from the Olmos Park Police Chief earlier today?
Well, to me, from the start, there has always been a sense of urgency, whether they were searching the basin and Olmos Basin, or they were searching the Simpsons home, or even the empty field next to a shopping center in Bernie. But you can obviously feel that there is more urgency now that they are here at this landfill in southeast Bexar County. Obviously, a confident police chief in that they will find her here. They've also enlisted the assistance of SAPD cadets, 25 of them. Those are the individuals in white hazmat suits that have been searching this area. So they obviously want to find something and find something sooner rather than later. Steve, Myra?
John Paul Barajas reporting live for us. And of course, John Paul will have the very latest coming up throughout this newscast and tonight on the Night Beat at 10. And of course, catch all of our reports on air and online at KSAT.com. And we want to remind everyone the Almost Park Police are asking for continued help in finding Suzanne Simpson.
Yeah, take a look at this contact information. These are phone numbers that you can use to call the Almost Park Police Department if you have any information. You can find these numbers and these names as well and stay up to date on the search for Suzanne Simpson, all on our website at KSAT.com.
Let's switch gears now. Talk about much better news out there when we're talking about the weather forecast and what's just a few hours away, Adam.
Our first real cold front is just a few hours away. I mean, don't expect winter-like temperatures, okay? But it's going to feel fall-like. We're going from record-setting territory down below average temperature-wise. And also the wind is going to pick up. This cold front's going to come through in the early morning hours, late tonight, early tomorrow morning. And notice the front hits after 2 a.m. It's through by 4 a.m. for sure, and then the wind picks up out of the northeast, gusting at times between 20 and 30 miles per hour. Temperatures will take even more of a hit. We'll get into that in just a bit.
Thank you, Adam. What more could be done to prevent dog attacks in San Antonio?
They're a recurring problem here with a heartbreaking case happening just last week. A 1-year-old boy attacked and killed by his babysitter's pair of pit bulls.
Last month, a pair of dog owners sentenced to prison time for their dog's attack that killed an 81-year-old man. Now there's a potential new tactic on the table.
Garrett Berger tells us what city leaders are looking at.
It's not just high-profile attacks that get San Antonians' attention. It's the loose dogs in their own neighborhoods.
That's why I don't go to church too much, because I'm afraid.
District 7 Councilwoman Marina Alderete-Cavito says she hears it too.
Where they can't even walk around their block at dinner, after dinner, or are scared about their kids walking to school.
Prompted by her request, Animal Care Services presented a council committee on Tuesday with ways to crack down on dangerous and loose dogs, like allowing people to use a fake name, such as John Doe, when they file a dangerous dog affidavit. They'd have to use their real name if it were to get to court, but it would be enough to get an investigation going.
We've heard feedback from some residents that just do not come down and fill out the information because they're fearful of retaliation.
And ACS thinks owners should be more fearful of the penalties for letting their dog roam loose or bite people.
The city wants to raise the fines for repeat offenders by more than double. And failure to prevent a bite would be even higher, starting at $1,000.
I think that people can tell me all they want that, oh, these penalties are too harsh. You know, to me, the consequences of doing nothing are even harsher.
ACS also plans to sterilize some loose dogs before they're handed back to their owners and be more thorough in ensuring the other owners follow through too. Animal care! In general, they're also planning to give fewer warnings and more citations.
When we do get out there and we do talk to the pet owners that are being irresponsible, we can't give them the benefit of the doubt anymore.
Some of the changes require a council vote, which is expected in December. ACS is already also proactively inspecting repeat offenders, and the city plans to push for stronger dangerous dog laws at next year's state legislative session. Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
There are ways you can mitigate the chances of an attack happening to you or your pet. Animal Care Services advises all dog owners to get your pup spayed or neutered. They also stress the use of a leash when your dog is out of your yard. There are even responsible pet ownership classes available for pet owners that are interested. For more information on these resources, you can find them right now on our website, ksat.com.
A man accused in a double murder appeared in court this morning ahead of his upcoming trial date. Juan Antonio Reyes is accused of fatally shooting 2 relatives in July of 2022 and then setting a fire to cover up the evidence. Reyes, along with another man, John Bishop Torres, were seen on surveillance video entering and leaving the house the day of the crime. That's according to an arrest affidavit. In court today, Reyes' attorney assured the court that they had what they needed from the prosecution.
The state has complied to the best of both of our knowledges about the list of the state's witnesses as well as the state's expert witnesses.
One more pretrial matter must be addressed later on this month, but this trial is expected to begin November 5th. If found guilty by a jury, Reyes would automatically be sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
A local school district fighting to keep some of the superintendent's conversations under wraps. San Antonio ISD Superintendent Jaime Aquino has a personal development coach.
It's a perk he negotiated in his contract. He spoke with our Daniela Ibarra about how it's helping him.
Taxpayers are on the hook to pay for up to 3 of that coach's trips to and from San Antonio. So we asked the district for those receipts and emails and texts between Aquino and that coach. SAISD spokeswoman Laura Short told us there haven't been any expenses. For the first time, Superintendent Jaime Aquino sat down with us to talk about it.
What exactly does this personal coach do for you as a district leader?
So let me give you a little bit of background, and I will push back. It's not a personal coach. It's
a professional
that in your contract,
coach.
Though. It's a professional coach. Yeah.
Okay.
A personal coach, professional coach. I requested that I was going to get a coach that would help me. It was my first superintendency, and to help me grow.
The district fighting the release of any records tied to that coach. Tonight on the Night Beat and on KSAT.com right now, why a parent and an expert says it's your right to know. We have that story tonight on the Night Beat.
We want to go back to breaking news we've been following since the top of this show. Our Avery Everett live on the east side covering this fire for us, and we have some more information about how far it's actually spread.
Yeah, I think with the fire department giving you an update, Avery.
Yeah, Steve, Myra, we wanted to come back to you to be able to give you that official update. We know 7 structures were involved in this fire. 6 homes, 1 shed. They say that's why the San Antonio Fire Department had such a big response out here, because of how rapidly those flames were jumping from house to house. Now, at this time, there are no injuries reported, and some of those homes were said to be vacant. We don't know how many at this time, but they did say that call came in on Nolan Street and then jumped to Bluebonnet. And quite honestly, they say it even spread to some other blocks because of just how quickly these flames were spreading and particles in the air. That official we spoke to said that this is because of the weather and how dry we are right now. They actually gave a warning to all people right now to cut away some of that excess brush, because they say that they're expecting a long night ahead with these weather patterns, and they say that fires could quickly spread. That's the biggest update right now. 7 structures involved. They had 33 units out here. It did jump to a second alarm fire because of how rapidly those flames were moving. But like I said, no injuries. And those people who have been affected by that home, 1 home being a total loss, and we spoke to the woman who owned it, is with loved ones at this time. Steve, Myra?
Cannot imagine what that woman is going through tonight. And Avery, thank you for that update. And to give you a better idea where we're talking about not far from St. Philip's College. This is kind of in the Nolan Street, Geaver Street area, to give you an idea where we're talking about on the east side. Avery Everett, thank you.
And of course, wind is part of the forecast. Adam Caskey is going to talk about that when we come back, as well as this. A crisis that's present in every part of our community is domestic violence. What advocates are doing to eliminate the stigma for survivors of domestic violence all across the Alamo City.
Plus, we are 21 days out from Election Day. Texans that are on the deaf spectrum will notice something new at a few polling places come November 5th. How this small step will help those people make sure their voices are heard at the polls. And before we head to break, I want to remind you, Doc Talk happening later this week. Here's how it works. You scan the QR code, type a medical question, any health question you'd like to ask a doctor, and a doctor makes a house call to KSAT every Thursday to answer it. Every Thursday we don't have Know My Neighborhood. Doc Talk airs every Thursday on the news at 6:30.
We are now 21 days away from the November 5th election, and this year it will be a little bit easier for the deaf community to cast their votes.
Bexar County will have 5 voting locations staffed with sign language interpreters. It's just one step the county is taking to make it easier for people with disabilities to participate in the democratic process. Our Petty Santos shows us how it will work and why it was needed.
They've been advocating for access to voting more years than you can imagine.
For the first time, Bexar County voters who are deaf will have more locations to cast their ballots. A sign language interpreter will be available through a video screen at 5 voting precincts. It's thanks to a collaboration between the county and DeafLink.
All they do is click, up comes the interpreter, and everything you're saying will be signed. And when they sign back or ask a question, the interpreter can see them with the camera that's on the device that's being used, and they will voice whatever they're signing to the person that's interacting with them.
Pastor Cassell Grice knows firsthand Going out to vote can be frustrating without an interpreter.
When people ask me, what's my name at the voting center, I can't understand them. I have to rely on trying to read their lips or writing back and forth, and they're not always helpful. So it's very frustrating for me as a deaf community member.
Last election, a deaf interpreter was available at one polling site. Grice and many others took advantage of it.
We felt, ecstatic. It was my first time, basically, here in San Antonio. Was the best experience I've had for my voting so far.
Early voting starts October 21st, and these are the 5 locations where a video interpreter will be available.
Come vote. Show your strength, show how many there are of you and how important you are, and let your hands be heard.
Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
The latest census data says there are more than 350,000 Texans who are somewhere on the deaf spectrum. So it's a small step for a massive boost at ballot box equality. This is a map of the Bexar County voting locations that will have sign language interpreters for anyone who needs them. We also have so many election resources online, things like sample ballots and a list of polling locations near you. To stay in the loop on all things election season, you can follow along on our Vote 2024 page at KSAT.com. Let's take a look at traffic right now. Loop 1604 at Wiseman, and you can see construction is slowing things down there. Lots of cones in that far lane. It's got that access road closed as well, causing a bit of a backup here at 1604 in Wiseman.
Meanwhile, we're kind of got our own deadline we're waiting on, and that's when the cold air seeps into South Texas.
And
Adam.
Finally, we have that deadline. We didn't have it for so long. It's good to have it. Yeah, we're less than 12 hours away from the arrival of our first really noticeable cool front. Let's go to our high temperature trend. We went from 95, basically mid to upper 90s today and yesterday, down into the mid 70s tomorrow afternoon. That's as warm as it'll get, 75 degrees, 79 on Thursday. Then we get into the lower 80s this weekend. 95 was today. That tied the record. Remember, yesterday we were 98, and that was a new record by 3 degrees. So we're going from record-setting territory back below average. That average high is 83, and we're going to be below that for several days. You can see the cooler air off to the north. The front is on the way. Amarillo 72. Down to 67 now in Oklahoma City. Parts of Kansas at 58 degrees and then 40s at this hour in the core of the cold air. But notice how we're 90s out ahead of it. So you can see this clear distinction between the cooler air behind the front and the warmth that we have ahead of it. Now, the front's going to move through basically just after 2 a.m. and it's going to kick up the winds, and the temperature won't drop significantly in the morning. We'll be at 50 degrees at sunrise. That's actually right near average. But by Thursday morning, that's going to be our low point at 53 degrees to start the day on Thursday. We haven't felt that since April. Morning temperatures do get back into the 60s, though, by the weekend. Big upper level trough over the northeastern U.S. That's directly related to the cooler air that's spilling southward. As for rain chances, there's going to be a dynamic system dropping into the western U.S. Friday into the weekend. Unfortunately, that stays too far away from us and keeps the precipitation, lower elevation rain, and higher elevation snow in the mountains Friday through this upcoming weekend. But parts of West Texas and the Panhandle could get some of that moisture. 60 degrees at 7 a.m. By noon, we're 68, then 75 for the high temperature. Northeasterly winds steady at 10 to 20, gusting up to 30. You're going to notice that wind until sunset tomorrow evening. 73 in Helotes tomorrow, Canyon Lake 74, Floresville 77, and Hondo a high of only 77 degrees. I know some people probably love the heat and the warmth. That's okay. Just enjoy the next few hours because the changes are on the way. Rain chances only at 20% on Saturday. By the way, we should have some good viewing of the Comet again this evening. I'll get into the details of how to see it at 6:45.
Okay, see you then. Thanks, Adam.
All right, if you're a Cowboy fan, it's one thing to watch the game on TV. I can't imagine what it was like being there inside that building. Mary was there.
I was. It wasn't the Cowboys experience that I had previously been through last season. I mean, things have definitely kind of flipped for the Cowboys, and it's a gloomy bye week for the team, making national headlines, but not the good kind. We'll recap Jerry Jones' latest outburst. Meanwhile, the Houston Texans are getting healthier and stronger. Head coach D'Amico Ryans loving what he's seeing after the break. Well, this was sure to cross your news feed today. Cowboys owner and general manager Jerry Jones lost his temper when he was about to be asked if Dallas's 3-3 start is a product of the team's lack of aggressiveness in the offseason. During his weekly radio appearance on 103.5 The Fan, the heated exchange happened on the heels of the Cowboys' 47-9 loss to the Lions. Take a listen.
This is not your job. Your job isn't to let me go over all the reasons that I did something and I'm sorry that I did it. That's not your job.
Well, my job is to ask
why.
why.
A job, or I'll get somebody else to ask these questions, man.
Jerry, we're trying to figure out why the team is.
I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you.
Oof. Now, with the NFL's trade deadline weeks away, Jones doubling down, saying he won't be looking to bring more talent to Dallas. Meanwhile, head coach Mike McCarthy is relishing in the opportunity for improvement. The team is currently on a bye week.
I think this is an opportunity that we relish. I know I relish it, and I think they do too. So this is a place that a lot of good can come out of it. This will pay forward. In my experience, it always has. When you play young players this much, and you play this many different players this much, I think the long game definitely has a chance to be very bright.
All right, talking Texans football now. First few weeks of the season, Houston was grinding out some uninspiring wins. But Sunday's win over the Patriots was the team's first decisive win of the season, 41-21 to improve to 5-1. And it was especially promising seeing running backs Joe Mixon and Dameon Pierce return to action from injury and already looking explosive, combining for 178 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns.
I'm happy with our entire team, where we are right now. I think our team is sitting in a really good spot. Our guys are playing well, playing good team football, offense, defense, special teams, everybody playing together. So I'm proud of where our team is right now, and that doesn't mean anything. Last week is last week. We move on to the next one, and let's see if we can continue to play the Texan brand of football moving forward.
2 more preseason games are on the docket for the San Antonio Spurs, including tonight's tip-off against the Miami Heat. Head coach Greg Popovich said Victor Wembanyama will see about 15 minutes of action in an effort to manage Wemby's preseason minutes. And fourth-year center Charles Bassey is set to suit up tonight for the first time since tearing his ACL in December of last year.
Long rehab. But it feels great, man, being out there with my teammates and coming back. It's been feeling good. It's been a while, but obviously, obviously there's going to be a little bit of nerves there, but I know when I get that first rebound, make an impact in the game, it's all going to die down. So, I'm ready.
We will have the highlights and post-game reaction on the night beat of that matchup.
All right. Thank you, Mary.
Thank you.
Still to come here at 6 o'clock, stopping the stigma. Domestic violence is a story that too many people in San Antonio are familiar with, and it happens in every corner of this city. Coming up, what advocates are doing to end that stigma surrounding survivors. Next.
It has now been 9 days since anyone has seen or heard from Suzanne Simpson, the mother of 4, last seen walking away from her Olmos Park home with her husband, Brad Simpson, late last Sunday night.
Since then, Brad Simpson has been jailed but not charged in her disappearance. And countless searches have led to the multi-agency team of investigators in this location at a southeast Bexar County landfill where they believe Suzanne Simpson will be recovered. As this investigation continues, the general topic of domestic violence is at the forefront. While advocates work to dismantle the stigma that can surround survivors, they say that a lot of people believe this just doesn't happen in certain communities.
Yeah, but as Courtney Friedman shows us, this crisis hits every corner of our city and our county.
You've heard the numbers. Nationally, 1 in 4 women and 1 in 7 men are abused by their partner in their lifetime. In Bexar County, it's 1 in 3.
1
in 3 is enough. 1 in 3. It doesn't say where the 1 is. It can be your sister, can be your daughter, it can be your best friend.
And Family Violence Prevention Services CEO Marta Pelaez knows through her many clients, domestic violence does not discriminate.
You can be young, you can be a senior, you can be a woman, you can be a man. You can live in the poorest neighborhood in our city. You can live in the most affluent neighborhood. It happens everywhere.
Let's look at the proof. This is a map from San Antonio police showing calls for domestic violence across the city. Since January 1st, there have almost been 2,900 family violence calls coming in from almost every zip code in our city. And this is a map from the Bexar County Sheriff's Office showing their calls of service since January 1st. These red dots scattered across the entire county in every direction. And this is a map we made showing the top 10 zip codes with the most emergency calls to the battered women and children shelter, as you can see, also covering every single different part of the county. Pelaez and other advocates say if it happens everywhere and likely to people we each know, then it should be easier for communities like ours to unite to fix the problem.
That is the level of responsibility that we all have.
Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
And we want to remind everyone that help is out there for victims and survivors of domestic violence. If you or someone you know is dealing with domestic violence, there are people ready to help you right now.
Scan the QR code that you see right there on your screen. It'll take you to a page full of those resources that can help you or someone you love get out of a dangerous situation. Right, America Now, a new study from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York showing that Americans aren't as worried about making their minimum credit card payment since the pandemic. The survey showed the average perceived probability of missing a minimum debt payment during the next 3 months is more than 14%. That's actually the highest delinquency expectation reading since January of 2017, and the 4th month in a row the increase has grown.
Boeing is asking for billions from major banks and Wall Street. So why? The company is contending with massive financial losses from a crippling strike and years of operational and safety problems. They're trying to borrow $10 billion from banks and selling off about $25 billion worth of stock. The company's new CEO announced plans last week to also cut 10% of its worldwide staff, which would be about 17,000 people who might lose their jobs. As early voting starts in some states, we're starting to learn how many people are taking advantage of that. More than 5 million Americans have cast their ballots ahead of Election Day so far.
Georgia starting their early voting window today as both candidates focus on closing their campaigns as we near the home stretch. ABC's Perry Russum reports from the nation's capital.
Only 3 weeks to go until Election Day, and both candidates focusing on the battleground states. High voter turnout in Georgia, a new record for the first day of early voting.
I think this is an existential election.
I really just want to make sure my vote counts.
Former President Trump campaigning in Georgia.
The most beautiful word in the dictionary is tariff.
After talking economics in Chicago.
We're going to bring the companies back. We're going to lower taxes still further for companies that are going to make their product in the USA.
Georgia's Secretary of State says they are ready for long lines of voters.
We've watched what Chick-fil-A has done over the years and how they've managed their lines, and we think that someone needed to do that in the election space, and that's what our focus has been.
21 days. 21 days, and early voting starts in 4 days here.
Vice President Kamala Harris campaigning in Detroit, Michigan, a city Trump mocked last week.
Our whole country will end up being like Detroit if she's your president.
Harris unveiling a new campaign strategy in battleground Pennsylvania, playing clips of Trump rallies at her rallies.
The worst people are the enemies from within. The enemy from within.
He considers anyone who doesn't support him or who will not bend to his will an enemy of our country.
Harris's running mate Tim Walz in rural Pennsylvania.
Vice President Harris knows that. She knows that our rural neighbors, that look, when things are hard and difficult, that's when we do it the best. And we owe them our full support to make sure that they can find an opportunity right now in their hometowns.
Today, Trump was asked if he has spoken to Russian President Vladimir Putin since he left office. Trump said he would not comment on that, adding, if he did talk to Putin, it's a smart thing. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
The FEMA leaders sounding the alarm, misinformation hindering their ability to help people in need after 2 hurricanes swept through the southeast. An update on the recovery efforts and what else FEMA leaders are saying. Next on the news at 6. The FEMA leaders say a, quote, persistent and dangerous flow of misinformation, unquote, is feeding threats targeting first responders who are on the ground in the southeast after 2 major hurricanes in recent weeks.
And those same leaders are urging people to let those first responders do their work as millions more continue to pick up the pieces. ABC's Rena Roy has the recovery efforts from western North Carolina down to Tampa, Florida.
With the threats of violence and intimidation against FEMA workers and a growing spread of misinformation, officials in North Carolina with a simple message today.
If you're participating in spreading this stuff, stop it. Whatever your aim is, the people you are really hurting are those in western North Carolina who need help.
FEMA now resuming operations in North Carolina after briefly pausing them this weekend due to threats. The governor ordering police to help with security.
The federal family has been here, working side by side with the state since day one. These are people who put their lives on hold to help those who have lost everything.
Over the weekend, 44-year-old William Parsons arrested and now out on bail after police say he threatened to harm FEMA workers while allegedly armed with an assault rifle and handgun inside a gas station. The Department of Justice saying they're investigating an uptick of the threats and will seek accountability. It comes after Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton hit the southeast less than 2 weeks apart, leaving a massive path of destruction. The governor saying more than 90 people are still missing in North Carolina. In Florida, neighborhoods still underwater and without power.
Over 4 million accounts restored to power since Hurricane Milton came. That is the fastest that's ever been done for that many accounts.
Governor Ron DeSantis also says the state's emergency management division is distributing multiple pumps to communities still inundated with floodwaters.
538 ABC News polling finds Americans are divided on how the Biden administration is handling the storm response, with 47% saying they thought FEMA's response to Hurricane Helene was about right, but 49% saying it was too slow. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Here at home, let's take a look outside with live cam. Adam, we are ready and waiting for this cold front.
It's on the way, hours away, less than 12 hours away. It's going to be here. 60 degrees in the morning tomorrow at sunrise, 68 at noon, then 75 for the high temperature. And it's going to be a sunny day. You'll notice the gusty winds out of the northeast, steady at 10 to 20, at times making it up to 30 miles per hour. Notice the high temperatures. Fredericksburg only 70 degrees. That's as warm as it's going to get in Fredericksburg tomorrow. You get closer to the Rio Grande and we'll make it into the 80s. Carrizo Springs 84, Del Rio, Eagle Pass 83 for the high temperatures. Comet visible again. We'll talk about how you can see this evening and even tomorrow. Coming right up.
Okay, it is about time. I know we got a little more time, but bring on these cooler temperatures, Adam.
Yeah, at least get back to normal.
Well, that's the
normal
key.
temperature.
Yeah, we've been record breaking.
I don't expect you to get back to normal. I just want to make that clear. Right? The temperature's back to normal.
That ship has sailed a long time. That ain't happening. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I know. I didn't expect it.
You know me so well. So I want to talk about the Comet first. We talked a little bit about temperatures earlier. We'll get into it again. But the Comet is going to be visible again the next few evenings. Now, this is a magnified view. This is using like a telescope right here. But you see the great shots. And I will point out that your camera is going to see it a lot better than the naked eye. And this one was even tough to see through the photo. And this was taken from San Antonio, then Purnell State Park. Good shots. Anyway, looking off to the west, 40 minutes after sunset, which basically go outside at 7:40 p.m., a wide open area looking to the west, just above the horizon. The planet Venus looks like a really bright star low on the horizon at that time. So you try to find that. Try to find a planet Venus that looks like the bright star. Extend your arm out, and it's 2.5 fist lengths to the right of Venus. Let your eyes adjust, give it some time, and basically point your camera up there in that direction and it's probably going to see it better than you will. I know it'll see it better than you will. It's a little difficult to see with the naked eye. It's rather hazy, but your camera will pick it up much better. And you can actually have this opportunity through Friday evening, but I do think we'll have more clouds in the sky later this week. So I would suggest tonight, and if not tonight, then even tomorrow evening to head out. Look at our high temperature trend. We talked about this. 90s. We've been in the 90s every single day so far this month. Yesterday was a record. Today, a record high temperature. And going forward, we're going to see a big difference. We're going from that record challenging territory all the way down below average. Average is 83. We'll be 75 tomorrow, 79 on Thursday. It's hard to even wrap our heads around high temperatures in the 70s the next few days. And then we do get into the lower 80s by this upcoming weekend. Right now we're at 93, dew point of 43, really dry air already in place. We had the story that Avery Everett's covering about the house fires. One fire spread to another house. The wind is going to pick up and the air is going to get drier with this front. So if there is a fire tonight or all day tomorrow, it can and likely will spread very rapidly. Temperatures off to the north of us, creeping down. Amarillo now 68, Oklahoma City 65, Little Rock, Arkansas at 59. That cold front, it's already through Dallas. Dallas dropped to 87, and they'll continue to see their temperatures fall pretty sharply over the next few hours. Morning temperatures near 60 tomorrow, so not an especially chilly morning for this time of year. The average low is 61. But by Thursday, we're at 53 degrees at sunrise, and Friday, we're at 58. That's the coolest we've been since last April. All right, here's a look at our futurecast with wind speeds. I know it says temperatures here. It's wind speeds. The cold front moves through. Winds shift before sunrise. Northeast gusting to around 25 to 30 miles per hour. So that's what you can expect and prepare for in terms of the wind tomorrow. And it's not going to subside until we get into about sunset tomorrow. Big barreling upper level low. That's responsible for the cooler temperatures. Unfortunately, that's not going to bring us rain, and the next big upper level low that's digging into the western U.S., that's not going to bring us any good rain chances either. We'll bring some mountain snow, though, in the higher elevations. How about that? Talk about a sign of the season. Around here, just a 20% chance on Saturday.
Looking forward to all of that. Thank you, Adam.
All right, it looked great in the yard, not so great in the middle of the road. The Great Pumpkin Detour coming up in the Buzz. To the Buzz and hit the road, Jack O'Lantern. No officers or pumpkins harmed last night after an Ohio police officer attacked by this giant Halloween display. According to a post from the Bay Village Police Department, officers were dispatched for this runaway pumpkin. Now watch when the guy gets close to it. Look. Just rolls him over.
Yeah, that's what the dash cam video here shows. It shows that pumpkin inflatable blowing across the road. Looks like it basically swallows two officers. So they had to call for backup here. Those backup officers arrived and the pumpkin was returned to the homeowner, police said.
Yeah, that's
Wonder
pretty
if it
funny.
had a giant hole in it.
It kind of takes you a little while to figure out what it is.
That's what I was going to say.
That makes it
when you first
clearer.
see it on social media, it's like, is that a bubble across the road? What are we looking at?
I love that story.
Okay, a Game of Thrones fan is now the proud owner of a dragon-forged throne from the hit TV show. They bought a piece of TV history for nearly $1.5 million. Heritage Auction says the throne sold after a back and forth between bidders.
Yeah, more than 900 pieces of Game of Thrones memorabilia sold for more than $21 million, including a sword used by Kit Harington's Jon Snow character and several outfits worn during the series.
There you go. I'll be right back.
Before we let you go, I want to remind you the one and only debate between Republican Senator Ted Cruz and his Democratic opponent Colin Allred is tonight. It starts in just a few minutes.
We have a link to that debate on KSAT.com. Thanks so much for watching.
See you at 10.